Hello and welcome to Free Kick, a program dedicated to FIFA World Cup Russia 2018, wherein we analyze the matches that have been played and also preview the upcoming games. Well, this World Cup is continuing to surprise all of us with regularity. The last minute goals and the heart-stopping moments have become absolutely regular at FIFA World Cup 2018. And what an amazing night it was yesterday when England overcame Colombia in the first time in the penalties for the first time in the World Cup. Absolutely amazing result for Gareth Southgate's boys as England beat Colombia 4-3 on penalties after both teams were locked 1 goal each in the regulation time. In the another match, Sweden got the better of Switzerland by a solitary goal. But the pick of the contest obviously was England's clash against Colombia, and we will start our discussion with this pre-quarterfinals contest as England now secure their place in the quarterfinals and they are set to clash with Sweden. Today in our studio we have with us India defender Denzel Franco and a special guest, editor of Prudent, Pramod Acharya, who is a very big fan of England. He has been a fan of England for many years, and he is here with us to celebrate the special night that the Three Lions enjoyed in Russia last night. Welcome, gentlemen. Denzel, England winning on penalties against Colombia. What feeling does it imbibe or bring up from your side?
For a very long time they have been deprived of this stage. First of all, they could not cross this hurdle, and finally England trying to overcome this hurdle, and they managed to do it in the shootout. But most important thing is the coach is happy with the England squad. I mean, because all these years they've been struggling with big stars, and this team is all youngsters. I've been emphasizing on this for a very long time in this show, that these young players have really made a big impact in the England team. Not only England, most of the countries in the World Cup. So yes, the coach says that he's very happy about the team winning in this manner.
Overall, England-Colombia match, did it go according to what we predicted? 1-1 tie at the end of the regulation time. Of course, last-minute equalizer from Colombia, making it a real cliffhanger. The entertainment value from the match, how was the overall quality of football that you saw in this game?
I did mention that this match would be very evenly contested match, yes, very close, and yes, it was a very close match because Colombia was no joke. They did give their best, and the equalizer in the last minute shows that how dedicated they were to get this equalizer, and they managed to do it. The match was very well played. I'm sure the fans have loved it. They enjoyed the game. It was a very entertaining game.
But one player we felt the absence of was the top scorer of 2014 World Cup, James Rodriguez. A big miss for Colombia last night due to his calf injury.
Yes, for sure. If this player was in the Colombian team, maybe things could have been different because he's a deadly player. I've seen him play in the last World Cup. I've seen him play for Madrid, although he couldn't make a big impact in Real Madrid. But he's been doing a great job in Bayern Munich. Yeah. So I feel that James was missed a big time by Colombia. But I hope that in future that he doesn't go through these situations.
Well, England fan Pramod, you must be really overjoyed today.
Yeah, absolutely. First, it was as a fan, it was a very conflicting evening of emotions for two reasons. On one channel, there was India-England T20 going on, where you are obviously rooting for India. And then on the other channel, then this big game is going on, where you are obviously rooting for England. So the evening of conflicting emotions and the most tense moments when it goes to penalty. I'll just show you one thing. I'll read you the New York Times headline immediately after the match. And they said England shakes its shootout curse and saves its World Cup. Yes. So the shootout curse, I think, was playing on everybody's mind, and it is since 1990, 6 major tournaments including Euro.
Yes.
So if you are getting it wrong 6 times, definitely everybody is bound to get worried the 7th time. But it's a young team. I was discussing the same thing with Francis yesterday after your show, and he knows that I am an England fan, and while going in his typical style, he pointed at me and told me, "Are you sure that your boys have the nerves to get it right in the big tournament?" I said, "We'll see it tonight." So I can proudly say today, yes, our boys have the nerves.
Right. What do you think has changed for England now? We have seen all that misery of penalties of the last 6 or 7 attempts at major tournaments. What do you think was the change that you have seen in this year's England side?
I think the entire squad is without a baggage. They don't have the dilemmas and the traumas of the past. There is history, but it is not overpowering them when they are in the field. The captain himself is 24 years old, so that says a lot about the squad. And the coach has been praising the captain throughout, saying his leadership skills, how he carries everybody along. The coach himself, the manager himself, a cool customer. He is not getting rattled at any situation. He is not showing his emotions like others. It gives a calmness to this squad. I think what we saw yesterday also, when the game was getting a bit rough and those yellow cards were falling from the skies, and the way the opposite team was taking it ahead, I think the calmness that the team displayed was largely because of the manager, coach also, because even when they were taking the penalties, his entire demeanor was completely cool. I think that's playing a huge factor as far as this squad is concerned.
Tenzil, you could explain to us the youngsters coming out at the big stage and playing their best game. What type of mindset does a player need to show in such major tournaments?
See, as Sir said that the baggages doesn't come along with it, and of course when you have a youngster playing in a team, he doesn't carry any baggage along with him. He's free of mind. He's got the energy. He's got the strength. Everything in him. All he needs to do is prove himself, play for the country, and for any footballer or any athlete, playing for his country is the biggest achievement. So when a youngster is representing his country, he's giving his the best. He's shedding his blood for the country. So it's really nice that these guys get these opportunities. I as a youngster played for the country, and it was a really good experience playing for the country. I have nothing more tensions over my head. All I need to think is just go and enjoy the football. That's what the youngsters have been doing, and they've been getting the results.
Doesn't the history matter? A player coming on in such a game, knockout game, does it matter that my team has lost those 7 shootouts in the past, and here we are, if we are heading into a shootout? Does a player need to bother of the history?
Not at all. I mean, that's what the coach has been emphasizing on, that we don't believe in the past. We don't have to carry past in the present. So that's exactly the youngsters are doing. They have no burden of what has happened in the past, and they just want to start a new chapter, and that's exactly what they are doing.
Overall, in the first half, there were hardly any chances, clear-cut chances. What do you put down that to?
I feel the same thing happened with Brazil, that you have this game where you are first reading out your opponent, you play safe in the first 20 minutes or 15 minutes, it went on, and then the second half you try to open up. You want to open up from the wings, you want to open up from the middle, put some through passes, and that's what was happening yesterday in the second half. England started pressurizing the same way Colombia, but I think England really did a good job in that moment.
Harry Kane, the priceless gem of English football, the commentator described him that way. He earned that penalty, and what a player he is proving to be for England, now leading the race for Golden Boot with 6 goals. What do you feel about Harry Kane?
So obviously, he's captaining the side. He's doing it really well. So he's showing the composure which is absolutely required at such a grand stage. At the same time, the kind of support he is getting from all others, including there is Sterling, then there is Young, and
Ali.
the way there is Ali, the way they are backing both their strikers up, the passes that they are doing. This is a different England team. You can see it 4 years ago. You can see it today. It's a different way of football. It's not that English team that is coming out of English Premier League tired and battered and with all that baggage and all that pressure. This looks fresh. The first thing that I would say is this looks fresh. Otherwise, in every big tournament, maybe Euro or the World Cup, we have seen that there is a lot of pressure of the Premier League itself, because the tournament itself is so fierce, so competitive, that when the players come into these big tournaments, then they feel they are already coming with a pressured mind.
Yes.
This team doesn't look like that, although all of them come from this tournament. So I think that's the big difference.
And are you enjoying their style of play?
Absolutely. Means the way they are controlling the ball, the way they are taking it ahead. Although I personally felt that we were not able to create many chances yesterday,
Yes.
but that has been done in the previous 3 matches. This can be one of, and the kind of game Colombia was playing was too feisty. I don't know why. I mean, a legitimate tackle is that leads to an incident. It's quite understandable. But these were not legitimate tackles. That's the problem. Yeah.
So England's really the approach to football by England national football team seems very refreshing, as Pramod has mentioned, and I feel the same as well, because following England from the past major tournaments, it seemed like they have really reinvented their style of play, and Gareth Southgate is now probably trying to mold this team into a type of a, Premier League club. The intensity of the Premier League club is being adopted by the England national football team. So how does that augur for the English football?
The players are young. They have been, the whole lot of team has been changed. There are some experienced players like Sterling and all who have played big football, but then there are youngsters who have come in, and the coach is definitely looking for this team for the future. The World Cup is definitely in his mind, but then definitely he's looking for this team to be going on for a very long time, because when you have youngsters at the age of 23, 24
right.
performing in the team, you can think about their future in the next 5 to 10 years. So they've got a very good bright prospect in this team, and nevertheless they have a very tough game coming up ahead now against Sweden.
Obviously.
So I'm sure that they must be having a lot of meetings and training sessions, and knowing what they need to do against Sweden to overcome that hurdle.
Well, we have seen Sweden very efficient team in the past as well, but never before they had managed to reach the quarterfinal stage in the World Cup since the last 24 years. So Sweden also looking like they are writing a new chapter in their history.
Definitely, they also started a new chapter. I'm sure. I don't think they are missing Zlatan anymore, because Zlatan has been playing in the national team for quite some time, and they couldn't cross this phase of the World Cup. So I think the youngsters again coming into picture, they have been doing good job. The team is doing really well together. There is no, I wouldn't want to particularly mention to a certain player that he is selfish or whatever, but then I feel that the team is combining well. They don't have any big headbutts over there who feel that you have to give too much of respect to a particular player.
Right. What is your feeling on the trend in football now, wherein the reputations are hardly mattering? Messi is gone, Ronaldo is gone, Zlatan is out of the team, and the team has done well. England are looking fresh.
This kind of trends where the focus, I think, is very clear. It's not about just possessing the ball, but it's about creating the chances and converting them.
Yes.
I think even the smaller teams, you saw it with Croatia also, other teams also. The focus is clear. It's not that textbook football that they are playing. The focus is very attacking, and the target is victory. And it's not about a softball approach. Everybody, even the small teams, are playing hardball against the big teams.
The key feature of that press conference was Gareth's confidence in his boys, and the way the boys, proved their coach right, as they adopted a very, very disciplined approach in the wake of Colombians' quite physical provocation.
Yes, the boys have made him realize that it's possible. And Gareth has been having these issues, like the England team has been having this penalty shootout issues for a very long time in this World Cups and all, and they have crossed this, meaning it definitely speaks, the coach is very happy about the overall performance of the team. He knows that what he wanted from the boys, what he expected from the boys, they have given him the results. And I'm sure when you have a manager like him, who's a very friendly manager with the players. The players are young. They see him as a fatherly figure. They definitely want to give him back something in return, and they've been doing it by giving him results.
I think in the past, if you see at the major tournaments, England had these managers who were quite veterans. First Sven-Goran Eriksson, and then came Fabio Capello, and then Roy Hodgson. All these three gentlemen were in their 60s. And now Gareth Southgate, he's just 47-year-old. I think what Denzil has said, I think it will also prove really interesting for the fans as well to watch this young coach in action.
Absolutely, as I said, his composure itself gives you a sense of confidence. If you look at his body language, if you look at his expressions, even in the crucial moments, even when those feisty moments, those rash tackles were happening, every time the camera moved on his face, he displayed the same composure. Even when they were taking the penalties, he displayed the same composure. The only time I saw him laughing, smiling and expressing himself is after the match, when that last penalty kick happened. After that, when the entire team and entire support staff came to congratulate him, jumped on him, that is the only time I saw him expressing himself. Otherwise, the composure was throughout.
Yes.
And to maintain that when you are such a young team playing in the field and keeping that influence on them, to maintain the similar kind of calmness when the game is turning really violent and ugly. I think
he prevented
that's
from
really
violent and ugly.
That's really
I think also the way you enforce the authority is different. A younger coach like Gareth would understand the young generation much better way than the past, the Svens and Roys and Fabios. They were kind of father figures. So for a player, does it matter, that the coach understands the mindset and the heart of the player rather than ruling with the iron fist?
Yes, there has to be this friendly relation between a player and a coach, and that's exactly what we see in this team. That the coach, when he tries to have a friendly relation with the players, and the players feel that yes, we are having a good relation with this gentleman, and we need to give something in return back to him. This is what Sir Francis was emphasizing yesterday as well, that when you have a good relation, things do work out.
Looking forward to the quarterfinals, we have really great clashes coming up on Friday and Saturday, and those are between France and Uruguay. That would be a stunning game, followed by Belgium versus Brazil. I think that should be the pick of the contest of the quarterfinals. Belgium versus Brazil, the big game.
Yeah, it's really a big game. As I'm the fan of Brazil, I want Brazil to go through, and but fingers crossed till the 90th minute again. I want to watch the match, enjoy the game, and hopefully Brazil goes through.
Right, and Sweden versus England and Russia versus Croatia to be played on Saturday. England-Sweden, not a really
easy thing.
Not a match that you can take for granted.
The only very interesting thing even if you see this lineup, the quarter-final lineup, forget about the semi-final.
Yes.
But except Brazil, I think all the favorites are out.
Yes.
So it's wide open.
Very open World Cup.
You don't know what's going to happen. All the equations that we were doing at the beginning of this tournament are out of the stadium.
Yes. That's the most fascinating part of this World Cup. This is probably the most open World Cup, the most thrilling World Cup, with all those last-minute goals, all those teams fighting till the referee blows the final whistle. We are really excited now going into the quarterfinal stage. Thank you very much, Denzil and Pramod, for joining us here today in the Free Kick program. And we will take a 2 days break as the World Cup in Russia also goes in for a short break, and we will return on Saturday and Sunday, while the matches will be played on Friday and Saturday. So keep watching Prudent and keep tuned in to Free Kick. Goodbye for now. See you.